Welcome back to the channel Red Dirt Designs. On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make a hat like this using your Cricut. You cut it out on vinyl. We use a heat press that I got on eBay for $100, believe it or not, and it makes an awesome hat like this. I'll show you how. Alright, first off we're going to open up Cricut Design Space. We're going to click New Project in the upper right corner. Then we're going to find our image, click on it, and then add to canvas. Now we need to zoom out, and then we can resize it. I already measured with the tape measure to find out what size I needed. I needed it around 4 inches to fit on my hat. I want it to fill up the whole front. And then we're going to make a 2-color, so I'm going to go to contour, and I'm going to hide the contours, the cuts that we don't want to make. Right here you can kind of see whenever they're highlighted. So when we click them, you can see that they change color. We want it to where they're faint. You can see here they're selected now as being hidden. All I want visible is Let's DIY, and I'm going to do that in red. So let's go ahead and exit out. Okay, it looks correct. Let's DIY is all it's showing up. So we're going to make it. We've got to make sure we go to mirror, because if we don't do that, it won't cut out properly. It'll be backwards on the hat. So I'm just moving it over so it fits correctly. Hit continue, and then we should set the machine, make sure that it's set to iron on. Alright, we're going to place this iron-on vinyl shiny side down. This is just a scrap piece I had laying around. My mat is no longer sticky because it's so old, so I'm just taping down. You probably won't have to do this if you have a newer mat. Alright, we're going to line up the mat into the Cricut. Once we got it in position, we're going to hit the arrow button. The arrow button loads it. Once the C button's flashing, that means it's ready. We'll hit the C button and it'll start cutting. Alright, once it's finished, the arrow light blinks. We're going to go ahead and click that to eject it. Click finish here in the bottom. Alright, we need to go back into contours, because now we're going to hide Let's DIY and we only want the RD. Alright, and then we'll preview it. Once I hit the X, and once we hit the X, oh, see I missed a spot there. We can go back in there, easy fix. Go ahead and click it, make sure it's clicked. Alright, now it's just the RD, so we know we're ready to go. We're going to go ahead and make it. Make sure we mirror, otherwise it'll ruin this whole piece. So I click mirror on. Let's go ahead and continue. Make sure it's on iron on. We'll go ahead and load the machine. Same process, click the arrow button, click the C button when it's ready. Alright, our next step is we need to weed our images. I just use an X-Acto knife. You can use the Cricut tool as well. They have a Cricut weeding tool. I just use an X-Acto knife because that's what I'm very familiar with. In the airbrushing world, we use a X-Acto knife quite often. So there's our first one. We'll go ahead and do the other image as well. Be careful not to tear your image, just take your time. Here's the heat press that I'm using. It's $120 on here. I got mine for $100 even. You can look around and probably find a deal. I'm going to heat it up to 325. I'm going to do it for 15 seconds. It's real easy to set up. Alright, I go ahead and position my hat. I got my image in there. Put a piece of parchment paper on top, and we're just going to press her down for 15 seconds. going to go ahead and overlap this, kind of give it a little character. I'm going to put the Let's DIY right over the top, and you can layer vinyl. It's a cool little trick. We're just going to go ahead and line this up where we want to, make sure we center it. And now here I'm going to repeat the process of putting the parchment paper over the top whenever I'm happy with how it's laid out, and carefully going to set this back down for 15 more seconds. And it's always good to go ahead and give it a second press. Alright, here's the finished product. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, because I'm going to be doing a lot more videos just like this.